So this is an update on what happened to my Mini John Cooper Works this week after taking it back to the dealership. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what previously happened. Now, over the last 3 years, I haven't actually drove the car at all, not very much anyway. And over that 3 years, we've accumulated around about 250 miles. Now, just over 3 years ago, I had some warranty work carried out on the suspension where they completely rebuilt the front two struts because obviously they were rusty inside. And they shouldn't have rusted. For some reason, there's a problem with them. Leading up to now, I've been out, I went down for an MOT, and they passed it on the MOT. But when they showed an advisory that says the side of my tyre is rubbing on the suspension. And I'm thinking, what? That can't be possible. I've had a previous MOT, and they never brought it up. I got a photograph of before and after. And on the before photograph, it shows a little tiny mark on the suspension. Now, I didn't take much notice at the time. I mean, you don't, do you? I mean, well, it's a brand new car, isn't it? All I was doing is re-waxing the underneath of the car. But moving on swiftly to now, you looked at the photograph of now and you can see that rub mark and you can see the damage to the tyre. And now I believe that damage was caused by a problem which was already in the car from brand new. Though I haven't actually used the car very much. In fact, in total, from the day I bought it, I've done 3,000 miles, give or take. Cutting a long story really short, obviously I took it back down to the dealership and we had it down there on Tuesday of this week. And I thought, well, I'll leave it with them. They've given me a loan car, so fine. And I was just waiting to them. I did go through and explain everything with them, show them the photographs of before and after, and told them the settings that they did on the top mounts were completely BS. It wasn't right anyway. And I knew exactly what they were going to say. And they were telling me that Mini UK gave them all the tolerance and everything. I believe that, because that's what they do. Well, I get a phone call this week. In fact, I got a phone call yesterday on Friday, phoning me up and say, any chance I could bring down the original wheels and tyres for my John Cooper Works challenge. At that point, I turned around and said, why would you need that? Isn't it good enough with the wheels and tyres you've already got? Which came with the car, which I took it away, So, because when you buy the car, you get a second set of wheels and tyres given to you for free. Because Mini were just going to throw them in a dustbin. So, as a goodwill gesture, they gave them all out to all the owners of the cars. There's only 53 of us. They just went out to us 53. And lots of people would sold them or whatever. Because once you fitted, you don't want to drive around with standard wheels on a Challenge Mini. It just didn't look right anyway. And I had problems with mine anyway. When I got them delivered, they were all damaged. I had insurance money against them. And obviously I claimed off the credit card people for it. And the wheels just went, and that was it. I didn't bother with them anymore. I had the money back from them. Hey, why not? The reason they wanted these wheels and tyres is so they can set the car up. Because to do the suspension lining up and the wheel alignments, they need to have 4 wheels on the car. So they do front and back. And my thoughts were at the time, I thought, why would you want some other wheels? It's like taking a Focus RS wheel from a Ford and sticking it on a Mini and then doing a test, because that's exactly what they were telling me. But this is under instructions from the technical department of Mini UK. What a bunch of muppets they must be upstairs. They put in the chassis plate number and it bangs out John Cooper Works. Of course it would, because it is a John Cooper Works. The whole point of the car was it was a John Cooper Works taken from a production line with a shed of extras added to it. Then they took it up to Suffolk, and then that was converted into a Challenge Mini with unique suspension, limited slip differential, all the little bits and pieces that could have been add-ons at the time which the dealer wouldn't fit, was done at Total Track. And that was how it's left. I did think at the time, if anything happened, what would be the case? Well, it just so happens we got the case now. Well, it's an old car now. I mean, the car was out at 2017 and we're now at 23, aren't we? So that's a while ago, let's be fair. So the warranty's well out. But actually, if a car is dangerous, and it's been dangerous from day one, and it's been found to be dangerous, then we have got cause to complain. And even warranty out or not, there's somebody going to be liable if I'd have had an accident and have killed somebody or caused an accident on a motorway, or it could have been anything. I could have turned the car over, whatever, if the tyre had blown out. So I put this to the dealer as well, that they're under an obligation. They pass the MOT when it's down to the wires. Hey, what's that all about? But needless to say, I understand from the dealer's point of view, they're a mini garage and this is a specialist car, and they don't see these cars every day of the week. if they're likely to see one at all. They've only ever sold one from their own garage, and I'm the only car they've ever seen to work on. So I'm being fair to the garage now. I mean, I can't blame them for instructions from Mini UK, but if the Muppets upstairs in Mini UK aren't bright enough to realise that this is not a straightforward John Cooper Works anymore, because the minute you add it on a suspension and different wheels, it changes the setup, because it's got top mounts that are adjustable, which I believe previously what had happened is Mini UK gave them the setting up, and they set it up, and basically they gave them the wrong details. And the same thing with the whole setup. Though the car's only done 250 miles since it was set up, the wheel alignments and everything is going to be exactly the same as it was previously when they did it. Because 250 miles, the car ain't been nowhere. It's only been from my house to them and back, and it's 40-mile round trip from there to here. And I think I've been down 4 times. Well, that's 120 miles, isn't it? Or something like that. But that's how it stands so far. So I'm still waiting to hear back from them. Hopefully Monday they will have done their diagnostic or whatever they're going to do with it. Oh, I don't really know. I haven't got a clue with this. I did phone up Total Track to get a bit more information on the setting up of all the settings on the car, and they were really good about that. I've emailed them just to confirm what I've asked for, and they're going to send me down a complete list of all the settings on the car, which they done at the time. Now, Mini UK could get this information the same as I got the information, or will get the information. So I don't know why they aren't going down there first. I really don't know. The dealer did say to me they will contact Total Track if they get stuck with anything, because obviously this is up and beyond what their control is. Normally a car like this with suspension, you'd probably get this sort of thing done at Loven up north. You take a car into them, they'd set the car up, suspension, everything. They know what they're doing. These people, they're a Mini dealership, and they're going by the tolerances that's set out by Mini UK and end of. So I can see we're going to have a little bit of an argument between them and us without no shadow of a doubt. And I will put a link up here with the previous video that I've done. I'll keep you updated on what's next. Hopefully the car will be back and we can have a little bit more chat and see exactly what they did. If you like this type of content, please subscribe and please share, and we'll see you again very shortly on the Crazy Baker channel. Laters!